A winter storm warning is in effect later today as we expect rain and a high near 46. Then tonight and into tomorrow, we expect 3 to 7 inches of snow with a low around 26. Discover fresh dining experiences with eatlocalminnesota.com. From the Great Wall Restaurant to Crooner Supper Club and Maverick's Real Roast Beef, enjoy unique dishes, local brews, and vegetarian options, all while keeping your money local. Find the full list at eatlocalminnesota.com. Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome to the Gailey Show, the only daily LGBTQ radio news and talk show in the United States. I'm your host, John Parker. Jim Pounds, my executive producer, is in studio with me.
Hey, all.
We are going to be giving away a free pair of tickets to White Christmas at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters later in the show. We're going to do that in our second segment around that 2:21 mark. So get ready to call in. We're going to give away a free pair of tickets to White Christmas at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. What is on the show today? In the second half hour, Tammye Nash, managing editor of the Dallas Voice, is going to be here with us with some new reporting from the Lone Star State. We're also going to take a look at a new report that's outlining the erasure of LGBTQ characters and plot lines and TV shows themselves from America's television stations and streaming networks. But up first, AM 950 Radio's very own Ellie Krug is here with us. Ellie hosts The Illegal Trans Woman, which you can listen to every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on AM 950 Radio. Also available everywhere you stream your podcast. Ellie has a new book, came out earlier this year, Being Ellen, A Second Chance in Life, which is a follow-up to her debut memoir, Ellen, Getting to Ellen, a memoir of love, honesty, and gender change. Ellie, welcome back to the Gailey Show.
Oh, John, thank you so much for having me. And good to see you too, Jim. I'm thrilled to be talking to you about my new book.
Yes.
Let's just start with chapter 1, because it's a very interesting way that you jump into your the second memoir of your memoir series, A Square Peg. And it's an incident that you went through, and it just sets the tone up so interestingly for what happens next in the rest of the book. So do you want to kind of tell us what readers can expect when they turn to page 1?
So, the book begins with a vignette about me sitting barside in Northeast Minneapolis the night before Thanksgiving of, I think it's 2010, wow. 2011. And, I was sitting, I did what I loved to do, which was to journal at barside with a glass of Chardonnay. And I had a man approach me as I was doing that and asked me if I was a dude. And he was pretty insistent on me explaining whether or not I was a dude. He had heard my voice when I had talked to the bartender, who was, I was a regular. And so the bartender and I had sort of, that kind of relationship. And at any rate, the man was very insistent. Ultimately, I had to get the bartender to intervene. But that vignette sets up for the book that, as a transgender woman, as my regular listeners know, this is the voice that you get when you hear Ellie Krug. Your listeners who maybe have never heard me before are like, well, what the hell is a dude being on your show with the name of Ellie? And so, it's just part of the challenge is that trans people face, because it's the concept of passing, whether you pass 100% for female, nobody'd ever be able to guess that you were assigned a different gender at birth. I'd like to at least hope that if I don't open my mouth, I pass 100%. This is where you guys nod your heads vigorously. This is why it's good to be on camera with you. Okay. But as soon as I open my mouth, we got some problems. Okay. And, we can joke around it. I mean, but it's been an obstacle to my dating, because I like to date men, and many men find this voice a problem, even after swearing to me that they don't have a problem with it. But it also, realistically puts me at risk if I speak to the wrong people at the wrong time in the wrong place. And so I have to always be aware of that. I've also used this voice as a tool to teach people about the power of human familiarity and about coming to accept people who are different. Because if somebody goes through a workshop with me for 2 hours, hopefully by the end, they're not hearing the voice anymore, and they're just hearing Ellie Krug, and they understand that's what it's all about.
You were the first trial attorney to try a case before the out trans person trying a case before the Iowa Supreme Court. Your book, your debut book, was about your transition. Here, you're sort of picking up where your career, legal career, went to as you were getting to Minnesota. And there was a part here that I've got sticky notes throughout. It's just, it reads so fast. You just keep going. You're like, what is happening? But could you talk a little bit about because we're dealing with a legal moment right now here in the United States. And I'm curious if you want to talk to us about diversifying the legal field and the work that you were doing around that as you were getting to Minnesota.
Well, so the first book is Getting to Ellen, which is about coming out as transgender. And the second book, Being Ellen, is what's it like to finally, for a decade and a half, get to live as who you are. Mm-hmm. So when I came out in Iowa in 2009, I ultimately lost my law practice, and I moved to the Twin Cities to start all over again. And what I did was, luckily, very luckily, I had no idea about how difficult it was, so I fell into it. I got hired to start a legal access nonprofit named Call for Justice. It was aimed at helping low-income people who lacked finances, resources to hire lawyers, it was like a navigator, helping them connect with low bono or pro bono lawyers, or low bono, which is reduced fee lawyers. So I did that for 5 years. It helped. I was the first transgender executive director in Minnesota of a nonprofit, and in 2011, when I got hired to do that up through the end of 2016, what I was doing was acclimating other nonprofit folks, acclimating people in the court system, people, in the nonprofit world generally in Minnesota about, yes, that transgender people, can show up, that we're smart, I'm relatively smart, I'm not brilliant, and that that we're capable of pulling some things off. And I'm really, not to be braggadocious, although I will be. My nonprofit won an American Bar Association award within 3 years of opening. Mm-hmm. So for, innovatively increasing legal access. Now, I left that nonprofit in 2017 to go and start my company, Human Inspiration Works, to go out and speak about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Bad phrase. Oh my God. Okay. But it was very successful. The first year that I went out and ran my company speaking about DEI topics, I gave 180 talks. It was like something else. And of course, now, I know you didn't even ask about this, but I'm just going there. Now, with this anti-DEI stuff, the demand for my talks has dropped like a boulder in a lake. It's just, this year, I think I will make 45 talks. I think this year I will do that. So,
I was thinking about that when you talk about in the early chapters about losing your law practice because you were representing like railroads and these big industries who were uncomfortable having a trans woman representing them. And now here we are again in 2025, where you have all of these companies, not even just railroads anymore, in your construction areas, that are pulling away from and saying, no, we're not going to hire trans people to lead efforts or to help change our cultures from within. Can you give us sort of a lay of the land as you see it now? Because there's such a wealth of information that you take us through from a personal experience and lived experience in your memoir. And then there's the professional experience that you detail in that. Give us a lay of the land where you see us at the end of 2025 and just the first year of this administration.
I don't think anybody could have, even in their wildest imagination, guessed where we would be as a country right now, killing people on boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. I will tell you, I did give a talk this year to an international construction company who I spoke to a couple years ago, and they wanted me to come back and talk about this book and my experience of living as me. I've talked with, I had some law firms that have continued to hire me. I have had governmental entities, which I will not name, who have hired me, because I don't want to jinx anything for them.
Yeah.
I will tell you, when I started speaking way, way back in 2009, because when I came out, there were transgender people weren't very visible. And so I got hired by churches, and small nonprofits, because like, what's a transgender? Bring us in and bring you in. Come on, we want to hear this. And now it's come full circle, because who's brave right now? Churches. Mm-hmm. And so I'm doing a lot of church work again. I mean, Excelsior United Methodist Church 2 weeks ago hosted a book club for my book, and we had 100 people either in the church or online for that. So as it relates to transgender people right now at the end of 2025, this is a very scary time, because the question for my community is, what's next? They're taking away healthcare for all kids, youth, and adults in blue states, because they're threatening all of these medical providers with these burdensome subpoenas and the threats of coming after them by the DOJ. We have 2 transgender student athlete cases before the Supreme Court. They'll be argued, I think, the second week of January before the Supreme Court. We'll get a decision in June. Those cases aren't going to come favorably to my community. I have no illusions about that. Mm-hmm. And the question is, how much, it's called dicta, D-I-C-T-A, that's how much unnecessary things that you say in a court opinion that you don't necessarily have to say, but you want to say them anyway. So the question will be, how much dicta will be in the opinions by Alito, by Thomas, and by maybe whomever else, maybe even Roberts, against transgender people? Because to hold against those athletes, they're going to have to essentially say that transgender people are a fiction, that we're not real, and that we don't deserve any special legal protections. So that's what's coming down the pike. I had somebody ask me yesterday, are you looking forward to 2026? And I'm like, no. Hell no, it's going to be horrible. And I see our time's almost up.
Well, the book is Being Ellen, A Second Chance in Life. We have a link in our show notes and on our websites for you to get your very own copy. You can listen to The Illegal Trans Woman every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on AM 950 Radio, or stream it everywhere you get your podcast. And one of the reasons why I absolutely treasure this book is how you characterize chosen family and the importance of chosen family. And I think that is an important holiday message for everyone right now, queer and queer allies. So you can get your copy everywhere that you shop and buy your books. Thank you, Ellie, for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me, both of you. Take care and keep up the great work. It's a wonderful show.
Thank you. You as well. Tune in, The Legal Trans Woman, every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. We're going to take a break here. More with The Gailey Show when we come back.
Guess who's back? That's right, it's me, the Grinch. Don't miss seeing me at Children's Theatre Company this holiday season. Can those Who's down in Whoville make me into a lover of Christmas joy? Doubtful! Yeah, but you'll have to come and see for yourselves. Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas is the perfect holiday treat for the whole family because of me. Yeah, the Who's are in it too, but you'll love it anyway. Tickets and showtimes at childrenstheatre.org.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
This holiday season, something fabulous is marching your way. Join Twin Cities Gay Men's Chorus at Orchestra Hall on December 6th for Jingle Bells and Jazz Noels, a dazzling night of holiday cheer and powerhouse vocals featuring Tony and Grammy winner Alex Newell. Bring your friends, chosen family, and your holiday spirit. Don't miss this once-a-year celebration of music, joy, and community. Get your tickets today at tcgmc.org.
Celebrate the Thanksgiving season at Ferndale Market's annual Turkey Fest, happening at their on-farm store in Cannon Falls from November 21st through the 26th. It's a beautiful drive from the Twin Cities. Reserve your fresh, never frozen Thanksgiving turkey for pickup at Turkey Fest. While you're there, enjoy delicious food samples and grab lunch from a food truck. Enjoy their family-run farm. Again, that's Turkey Fest, November 21st through the 26th at Ferndale Market in Cannon Falls. If you can't make it to Cannon Falls, don't worry. Use Ferndale Market's online locator to find out where you can get your 100% natural and delicious Ferndale turkey. Ferndale Market is a third-generation family farm that raises free-range, antibiotic-free turkeys. Their fresh Thanksgiving turkeys cook faster than frozen ones, giving you more time to enjoy the holiday with loved ones. Visit ferndalemarket.com for more details and to reserve your fresh turkey today. Make this Thanksgiving unforgettable with a farm fresh turkey from Ferndale Market.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners that use social media. Do you want an authentic way to connect with people in your life? Something more meaningful. Thousands of people just like you know that when it matters, count on Minuteman Uptown for custom quality digital prints. From Canva creations to self-published books, from business cards to banners and signs, we print everything. Find more information at mpuptown.com. Contact Minuteman Uptown today, and we'll help you connect to what matters.
Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am John Parker. We're coming up on the bottom of the hour. Going to give our call-in number right now, 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. That's for the folks who are in Minneapolis during the 2 p.m. Central Hour, because I am giving away a pair of free tickets to Irving Berlin's White Christmas at Chanhassen Dinner Theater's stage, but it is a mainstay of Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. This newer musical work, written in 2000, landed on Broadway in 2008. It is a delightful adaptation of the beloved 1954 film classic, which we watch at least part of every single year. Yep. There's the added Irving Berlin songs Blue Skies, I Love a Piano, and Let Me Sing I Am Happy, which are not featured in the film. Of note for Chanhassen Dinner Theater goers, this is a remount of the 2024 show, which is honoring the original director of Michael Brindisi, who tragically passed away just around this time last year. So 952-946-6205. First caller gets a pair of tickets for free. They're valid anytime, so you can pick the date that you're going to go and see them. It's not for a specific date and time. You call first caller 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. First caller for a pair of tickets to White Christmas at Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. You choose the date that you're going to go.
Well, what they end up doing is we'll send you a coupon, and you use that to call the theater and make your reservations. So,
okay, that's just logistics.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
The important part is that the first caller gets a free pair of tickets, and they get to name the date of when they are going to get to see the show. You and a loved one. The show runs through February 7th, so many dates that you can choose from.
8 shows a week.
8 shows a week. It is a lot. Definitely a lot. All right. So the if you know GLAAD, GLAAD does a lot of obviously media work, and they've got the Media Institute, and you're listening to 2 GLAAD Media Award nominees for our podcast, This Queer Book Saved My Life. But they also put out a annual report called Where Are We on TV? And so this report is from 2024 to 2025. They just released it this month, and sobering. Let's just say that. Sobering. They have counted that of the 489 LGBTQ characters that they counted across all platforms, Jim, what percentage of them are not returning?
In this environment, given the cowardice of the media world, what percentage are not returning? I would say 40% are not returning.
Oh, 41%.
Wow.
Of the 489 LGBTQ characters are not returning because their series got canceled. It was a limited series format, so it just ended and there was no renewal option. The character was killed off, or the character was written off the show.
Wow.
33%. So of that 489, specifically, if you want to know, well, how many shows were canceled, 33% of those characters will not be coming back to U.S. televisions because the networks or the streamers canceled a particular show.
But the place to find LGBT characters, in my opinion, a great place is independent film, and that's not going to change because of these cowards at the studios. That will still continue. So always check. And we've learned a lot about non-U.S. films, foreign films, so-called. Pretty good LGBT representation.
International
there too.
films.
International films.
I do want to say there were some bright spots in this media report. So they looked at the 8 major streaming services. So this is your Apple TV, this is your Disney Plus, your HBO Max, your Hulu, your Netflix, your Paramount Plus, your Peacock, and your Prime Video. Oof, a lot. They counted up 233 LGBTQ characters that were series regulars and 139 recurring characters for a total of 372. That is actually a 45 character increase on these platforms from the year before. So yay, right? That's a good news. On prime time, so we're at traditional broadcast television. GLAAD found a 9% increase, specifically a 9.3% increase of series regulars who were LGBTQ. So, no, I'm sorry. Oops, I read that wrong. There are 9.3% of series regulars were LGBTQ, which is just under a percentage point increase from the year before. But that is technically at least holding the line. A little bit of inflation there.
Better than I would have expected.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. Let's see here. What other highlighted notes? So on primetime scripted cable series, GLAAD counted 47 LGBTQ series regulars as well as 17 LGBTQ recurring characters. That is actually a decrease of 13 characters from the year before, which is what networks, Jim, have more than half of LGBTQ representation on cable TV?
So HBO Max wouldn't be part of that? Or I'm not
correct.
sure. Okay.
Correct. We're talking about cable television.
Because HBO has their director of programming is LGBT. So he does a good job of getting LGBT shows on the air, and then he cancels them.
Oh, he cancels them.
Or somebody tells him to cancel them. One of the two. But I don't know, non-cable?
On cable, which two networks have over 50% of the representation of queer folks on cable TV?
Comedy Central.
Okay.
That was sarcastic.
FX and HBO.
Oh, HBO.
Have 55% of all LGBTQ characters on cable television.
Casey does a good job of getting us on the air.
I like FX.
Yeah?
I like FX programming.
I couldn't name one thing that's on FX if I had to.
English Teacher. We literally just reviewed it.
Okay. But see,
What We Do in the Shadows.
The
greatest drama of all time that's wrongly classified as a comedy. What is it?
The Bear.
The Bear, the most exquisite drama on television, and somehow we call it a comedy. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But those are just 3 shows that we enjoy.
Okay.
On the
and
FX. Actually, What We Do in the Shadows is over now, which is sad.
I think most people tend to think of programs as programs. I used to be better at knowing what was on what, but you dominate the remote so much that I have no idea.
That's correct.
What's on anything.
That is correct. Speaking of programming, none of this would be possible here at the Gailey Show or AM 950 Radio without listener support. So specifically to our folks in Minnesota who listen to AM 950 Radio, I need you in this break to go to am950radio.com and become a member. Click on that little box that says become a member. We will send you a calendar with photos from our very own Matt McNeil as he's traveled the United States. So it's a free 2026 calendar just for you. Go to am950radio.com, click on become a member. We'll be back after this break.
Hello, Minnesota. This is Tom Hartman, and you can catch me every weekday from 11 to 2 right here on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. It's smart radio for smart people.
In today's uncertain times, Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces believes that a fire can add comfort and security to your life. At Woodland, our mission is to connect.
Hey, Tammye. Can you hear us? Oh, gotta add you to the stage. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Hello.
Oh, okay, cool.
Good
Hi.
to see you. There's a number of stories that we could get into on your site. I was wondering the maps that have been challenged. Is that something that you would like to touch on, or no?
We can certainly talk about them a little bit. It's still up in the air because I think the Supreme Court is looking at it all right now.
Okay.
Because Ken Paxton, went straight to the Supreme Court when he lost because he's a sore loser.
Yeah,
So-
okay. Other stories that I saw on there, but you tell me if you want to go with them. There's the Bedford student art crosswalks, which is just depressing. There, and then that was the federal panel that was on the congressional districts. But maybe on there is you have an LGBTQ congresswoman who would lose her seat if the maps go.
It's not necessarily that she would lose her seat. It's just that Julie Johnson is who you're talking about. It'll probably go Republican if they go with the new, because it's stretched east into the rural areas.
Got it.
I mean, Jasmine Crockett under the new maps will not even live in her district anymore.
Oh, fun.
They drew her out of her district. So that would be, but Julie would still be able to run in her district.
Got it. And then do you want to cover maybe the what is it, the new website, the LGBT Pride Path website?
I don't know much about that one.
Okay.
I mean, just what was in the story.
I think the sidewalk.
We got to get back on here.
Sorry, we're gonna come back. All right.
The gift to you. Reserve at fortunespooltheater.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. A winter storm warning is in effect later today as we expect rain and a high near 46. Then tonight and into tomorrow, we expect 3 to 7 inches of snow with a low around 26. Discover fresh dining experiences with EatLocalMinnesota.com. From the Great Wall Restaurant to Crooner Supper Club and Mavericks Real Roast Beef, enjoy unique dishes, local brews, and vegetarian options, all while keeping your money local. Find the full list at EatLocalMinnesota.com.
AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Coming to you from the studios of AM 950 KTNF, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and airing on WCPT 820 Chicago's Progressive Talk. Welcome back to the Gailey Show. I am John Parker. It is 33 minutes after the hour, in studio with my executive producer, Jim Pounds. Also streaming on our YouTube channel right now. If you like what we're doing, subscribe. Click leave a comment for us on how you're enjoying the show. The Dallas Voice just started its 42nd year as the voice of the LGBTQ community in North Texas and beyond. Visit their website at dallasvoice.com and their social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky for their award-winning journalism. Tammye Nash is the managing editor and has worked as a professional journalist, spending more than 30 of those years as a writer and editor for the Dallas Voice, the LGBTQ media source for North Texas and beyond. In her spare time, she takes photos mainly of birds and flowers and the dog. She joins us bi-weekly here on Tuesdays, very graciously lending her time to tell us what is happening in the Lone Star State. Tammye, it's so good to see you again.
Hey guys, good to see y'all.
All right, so obviously, one of the big stories coming out of Texas is the maps that the
Congressional
Republican
districting, yes.
yeah. So, can you tell us what is the status of the maps as we understand it today? Understanding it is a fluid situation.
Yeah, it could change as we're speaking, probably, possibly. But they quick recap. Trump said, "Hey, Greg, we need more Republicans in Congress because we've screwed up so bad they're going to vote us out." So Greg said, "Okay, we're going to redistrict in the middle of the decade, which we never do, but here we go." And then he forced them to draw maps that would add 5 Republican seats from Texas. Obviously reducing. The idea was to reduce Democratic seats, but of course in redistricting and trying to draw these maps so that we had these real strong Republican maps, I think what they had done partially was weaken some of the Republican seats, trying to, that's what happens when you screw around with things. But anyway, we had, obviously the maps were immediately challenged in I think it was the Fifth Circuit Court of Federal Appeals Court. 3-judge panel said, yeah, this is racially gerrymandered. This is unconstitutional. You can't do this. 2 out of 3 judges said that. And I think the judge that wrote the opinion was actually appointed by Trump.
Of course.
And recommended by Ted Cruz to Trump. And so, yeah. Anyway.
Fun.
Ken Paxton, the Attorney General, got his feelings hurt, immediately jumped in and, appealed straight to the Supreme Court. And they are, the latest I've seen just a little bit ago on news was Supreme Court is mulling things over. Who knows? It's so obviously racially gerrymandered. It's so obviously politically motivated, but apparently that is irrelevant. It's just about the racial thing. But we have 2 congresswomen in the Dallas area. Jasmine Crockett, everybody knows Jasmine, and most people love Jasmine. In redistricting, of course, Trump and the Republicans really hate Jasmine because she calls them out, right? Mm-hmm. So they redrew her district. It's been a Democratic district forever. And it is, I believe, still primarily Democratic, even with the new map. But they did it so that they redrew the line so that Jasmine doesn't live in that district anymore. That's the district that was held by Eddie Bernice Johnson for years, 30-something years, I think. But they deliberately redrew the line so that she doesn't live in that district and could not run for re-election. The other person is Julie Johnson. She is our LGBTQ congresswoman, the first openly LGBTQ person elected from a southern state. Texas is southern too. And they didn't draw her out, but what they did was her district was like up here in this corner, kind of like northwest corner of Dallas County, northeast of Tarrant County, and she had flipped it with Colin Allred's district, and then when he didn't run for re-election so that he could challenge Ted Cruz, and then he lost that. But Julie ran and I think Colin had basically flipped that district blue. Julie ran and won just easily, to go to Congress. But what they did was they took that district, and it was like here, like a district should be, and they stretched it. They took all of it and stretched it way out this way, going east into nearly all the way to the Louisiana border there, just so they could get all of these very conservative Republican right-wing areas drawn into this district. So it's like stretched way out. And, not saying Julie couldn't win it because Julie's great, but it would be much more difficult. So we're hoping that the Supreme Court is going to let the appellate ruling stand. But who knows? Who knows?
What has the mood been in Texas after California overwhelmingly approved their constitutional amendment that says, so long as Texas does this, we are going to redo our maps to make sure that anything Texas does, we offset here in California. How has that been received within the state?
Well, it depends on who you're talking about, on for me and the folks on my end of the spectrum here, yay, way to go, California. Everybody says, Gavin's kind of a jerk in some ways, but, this is a way in which he was not a jerk, and yay, go California. But then, then there's Ken Paxton and Greg Abbott and their little cronies, and, Paxton pitched his little hissy fit and sued, saying, how dare you do this? How dare you do this to play politics with, Come on, Ken. I know you're not that stupid, and you should know we're not that stupid.
He never looks in a mirror, does he?
Oh, he may be that stupid. He may be that stupid. I'm not sure.
He's too busy running out the back of his house to try to avoid being arrested.
Right.
That, and hanging out with his new girlfriend, the wife, the Christian influencer, married Christian influencer woman. Y'all know that story, right? He announced he's running for against Cornyn for Senate, and his wife, who is a state senator, immediately stepped up and said, "Hey, filing for divorce on biblical grounds." It's like, just say he cheated, Angela. Just say Ken cheated, and I caught him again. Not the first time. Anyway, I don't like Ken Paxton. He probably don't like me either.
No. I guess because what was interesting, I just thought that California was saying we're doing it permanently, but what the language was, as I understand it, is so long as Texas does this, we will continue to do it as well, and when they're done, then we will flip back our maps. Has that taken kind of the oomph out of their sails, even if they get a positive result at the Supreme Court, where they're like, well, we did all this, but it's basically going to mean nothing anyway, so why do we continue to pursue this if California's just going to negate it anyway?
They're just mad. It's like, how dare you, contradict me? I'm right, and we'll waste someone. And they're just vengeful little bitches. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm trying really hard. I slipped.
Please don't. It was interesting when I read the lawsuit that Attorney General Pam Bondi filed against California, and I read the language, and I was like, this sounds like everything that we would say on our side of the aisle for why the Texas map shouldn't exist, or the Florida map, or the Alabama map. I mean, it was literally like she plagiarized everything that we would say, but then just took out Texas or took out Alabama and just wrote in California. It's insane to me how they realize the validity of Jim and I were talking about this today. They recognize the validity of our arguments, and then they use them and try to say, well, we're going to use that against them. So it's like implicitly going, yeah, gerrymandering is bad, but we're going to keep doing it. But how we're going to get by is we're just going to take their argument, put in their name, like some weird Mad Libs, and then, here we go.
It's gerrymandering is bad when they do it, not when we do it. That's right. The MAGA, the Republican. We do it for the right reasons. Yes. We're good people, and we do it for the right reasons. Patriots and the flag and American pie. That's not right, is it? American flag, patriotism, and apple pie. That's why we do it. But those liberals, they just do it so they can rule the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because they're evil, demonic.
We are talking with Tammye Nash, managing editor of the Dallas Voice, the LGBTQ media source for North Texas and beyond, for more than you guys are in your 42nd year of doing that award-winning work. I just noticed, sorry, this is a little tangent, but there was figure skating this weekend, and I'm absolutely obsessed with figure skating. And Amber Glenn found out she came out in your newspaper with an interview there with Dallas Voice, and I absolutely love Amber Glenn. If you're listening right now, Amber, I will gladly have you on the show to celebrate your skating, because she's fantastic.
She's from, I think it's Plano. She's from North Texas. She's from our area originally. And we have a guy named Coy Covington, who is a huge figure skating fan. And I mean, he knew. Oh my God, my mind just went blank. There was a couple's. The guy was gay. I think it was dancing, ice dancing, rather maybe figure skating. But they trained in North Texas, and he knew the guy, and that got him in. And Amber trained with them. So yeah, that was a couple of years ago. She came out in our paper. We were thrilled with that. And was it January? Nationals are in January. Is that right?
Yeah.
I got Coy. Coy's going there, and we'll be covering that for us. So yeah.
Oh wow,
That's great.
that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
he knows his business about it too. So we,
Yeah, well, we'll have to tune into that coverage because I think she's going to be standing on the podium.
I hope
Don't
so.
wanna jinx
I hope
it,
so.
but I think she's going to be.
She's
It's
had a
really
great year, hasn't she?
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Won the Cup
Yeah,
of China,
California's-
silver at Finlandia Trophy this past weekend. Yeah, I think she's going to do some. If she gets that second triple axel, see, I will keep going.
I understand.
Okay, so something that I want to come back to the map story before we go take a break here. I was hearing some legal chatter about how the Supreme Court might let it stand because it's too close to the actual election in March, that they were kind of sneaky about it and we're like, well, if we get the map done, but it's too close to the election, then we can say you can't change it because of all the logistical nightmare that would cause Supreme Court. Has there been any, have you seen any reporting about that? Either have you been reporting on it or other folks in the Capitol?
I have not reported on it. I've not seen that yet, but I've been thinking about that. I mean, it's like, you're going to go last minute and change all this stuff, or even if it's still just up in the air, you can't. But at the same time, Supreme Court lifted the injunction, at least temporarily, against the new maps. So we would be moving forward with the new maps. I think I think my law degree at home, but I think that's right.
I think it's wild how the Supreme Court has basically said, yeah, we recognize there's a case coming up through, and it isn't to us yet, but go ahead and do it. And it's like with kicking out trans soldiers, they're like, yeah, I know the case is coming up here, but Trump administration, go ahead, kick them out, and we'll deal with it later when we get the case. And yeah, Texas, go ahead, get everything set up for these maps. And oh, well, if we rule against you, then it's going to create more chaos. But go ahead,
That's okay. That's
just
okay.
Anyway, we have to take that break. We're going to have more with Tammye Nash, managing editor of the Dallas Voice, when we come back. Before we go, please check out our GLAAD Media Award nominated podcast, This Queer Book Saved My Life. I interview LGBTQ guests from across the rainbow about the queer books that had a life-saving impact for them. And then we bring in the authors of those books to talk about what was it like to write and get that book out into the world. You can listen to This Queer Book Saved My Life everywhere you get your podcasts or at thisqueerbook.com. We're gonna come back after a break. I've been talking all day, y'all. So we're gonna come back, take a break. You're listening to the Gala Show.
Get the perfect holiday gift. Chanhassen Dinner Theater's gift cards never expire and can be used for any show. White Christmas, the concert series, Stevie Ray's Comedy Cabaret, or coming soon, the high-rolling musical spectacular Guys and Dolls. Visit chanhassendt.com.
AM 950 faces urgent threats from an administration wanting to silence independent progressive voices. Keep Minnesota's only independent progressive station on the air by shopping with our advertisers. Your support is vital during these times. View the full directory of businesses to support at am950radio.com.
History Theater celebrates the fascinating history of the St. Paul Winter Carnival with the world premiere of Rollicking, a winter carnival musical November 22nd through December 21st in St. Paul. Discover the strange, wonderful heart of a tradition built on resilience, imagination, and the enduring spirit of our snowy state. Discounts are available for students, seniors, and groups. Don't miss this vibrant premiere. Find details now at historytheater.com. That's historytheater.com.
This holiday season, something fabulous is marching your way. Join Twin Cities Gay Men's Chorus at Orchestra Hall on December 6th for Jingle Bells and Jazz Noels, a dazzling night of holiday cheer and powerhouse vocals featuring Tony and Grammy winner Alex Newell. Bring your friends, chosen family, and your holiday spirit. Don't miss this once-a-year celebration of music, joy, and community. Get your tickets today at tcgmc.org.
Hey, this is John Parker at Rainbow Road in Minneapolis. The holidays are coming up, and you can buy a limited selection of official Tom of Finland swimwear, tanks, and underwear for that special someone or for yourself. But don't wait on this. When they're gone, they're gone. And while you're there, update your gym look from a wide selection of tanks, t-shirts, and shorts. Rainbow Road is open 7 days a week on Grant Street by Loring Park and all the time at rainbowrd.com. Remember to get it at the road.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. Ready or not, the holidays are here. And if you're still falling on the not side, there's still time to call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to come over and help get things in order. Any surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, and more. So you don't have to worry about your friends and family sitting down on a nasty couch. Plus, you can get a jump on your Black Friday deals with this offer from Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $119 plus $75 off an air duct cleaning. That's right, you can call 952-ZERO-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com and ask for the AM 950 special. You don't even have to wait out in the cold at 5 a.m. to get your Black Friday deal from Zero Res. Again, that's 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $119 plus $75 off an air duct cleaning. Backward or forward smells the same. Zero Res.
Welcome back to the Gaily Show. I'm John Parker. We're coming up on the top of the hour, and I am told by my control room that I still have a pair of free tickets to give away to White Christmas at the Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. Folks, what are you waiting for? 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. A free pair of tickets to Chanhassen Dinner Theaters? Come on now. You get to pick the date even of when you're going to go. So it's not even like for a specific date and time. You just say, hey, this is the date I want to go to. Free pair of tickets. 952-946-6205. The Dallas Voice is in its 42nd year as the voice of the LGBTQ community in North Texas and beyond. Tammye Nash is their managing editor. She joins us bi-weekly on Tuesdays to share what is happening in the Lone Star State. Tammye, so the great issue of our time. It's not grocery prices. It's not grocery prices. It's not the tariffs. It's not healthcare premiums. It's crosswalks. Now the city of Bedford's getting in on it.
Well, see, what had happened was, when Greg Abbott made his grand edict about crosswalks, he really just wanted to get rid of rainbow crosswalks. And if you notice, he talked about, promoting political ideology and creating safety hazards. Mm-hmm. Well, but he just said, they all have to be the same without thinking about, like, Lubbock. Okay. Lubbock has crosswalks. I'm not sure exactly where, but Buddy Holly's glasses. He's from Lubbock. They have crosswalks that are his glasses. They're going to have to get rid of those. They're in Bedford, which is part of DFW area. It's like, I think Bedford's part of what we call a mid-cities because it's kind of in between Dallas and Fort Worth. But they had these 2 crosswalks at different junior high schools that were student created art, and they're there, and they're going to have to get rid of them. They were because they are beautiful. I mean, they truly are. There's one that's SMU. They're in around the campus, and they're in Dallas. But the thing is, Abbott and his folks talked themselves into a corner over this whole, it's not safe. You got to get rid of them. Everything has to be the same. Instead of just admitting, that there are a bunch of homophobes that hate gay people and rainbows, and probably Wizard of Oz too. But anyway, instead of just saying that and taking the heat for that, now they've caused all of these really great. But somebody, was it Bedford that asked for it? I can't remember if it was Bedford or Lubbock asked for an exemption. Dallas and San Antonio have filed exemptions for their rainbow crosswalks, saying, yeah, you said it was a hazard, and it's clearly not. It's safer now with these crosswalks than it was. There was a stretch there on the strip there in Cedar Springs where all our crosswalks are, where it seemed like every other day some dumbass was getting hit by a car because they walk out in the street or somebody was speeding, whatever. And since they put in the rainbow crosswalks, we've not had that happen. But hey, they're a hazard. So
yeah, I keep hearing from these pollsters for the New York Times that Americans think that the Democratic Party is obsessed with the LGBTQ community, and they're obsessed with transgender healthcare and sports, et cetera, et cetera. And when I look at the number of pieces of legislation coming from the Republican Party, I mean, the amount of time it took for a legislator and their aides to craft this bill about crosswalks, then to put it into committee, then to debate it.
That's not even a bill. That's not even a bill. That wasn't legislative. That was just Greg Abbott said, hey, that was just, it's like, I think his version of an executive order.
But the time that it takes to write that, and now for all of these people to have to sit down and spend time getting rid of Buddy Holly glasses and 12-year-old art because the Democrats are obsessed with LGBTQ people. It's like this ridiculous parallel reality that Americans live in, where they will still sit there and go, it's the Democrats that spend all this time. And here we are, the Republican Party is absolutely obsessed across the country, not just Governor Abbott in Texas, across the country. They're making the great issue of their time and wasting taxpayer dollars on
and riling people up. I mean, it's ordinary people don't care, but because somebody told them it's bad, they're going to throw a fit. I tell you what, watching the comments on our website and our social media, it is just unreal. These people have never been to Oak Lawn. They live in somewhere Garland outside. They're not in. They've never been there. Not going to come there. There's nothing there for them. None of their tax dollars went for it because the Dallas ones are privately funded. But Lord have mercy, you'd think that we were sacrificing babies in the street because they get so riled up about rainbows. I just don't understand. Y'all need to get a life because that's just dumb.
But further proves, like, if you polled Democrats and said, what is your position on rainbow crosswalks? I bet a huge percentage would be like, what's a rainbow crosswalk? They wouldn't even realize that this is an issue right now. But if you polled MAGA people right now, they'd be like, oh my God, you got to get rid of the crosswalks. It's like this further proves their obsession with us, and yet somehow the Democratic Party, which they're not obsessed with us. When you look at the number of legislation that they introduce, you're like, come on, guys, we could use some more. Anyway, that's gonna have to be a story for another day because we are at the end of our time. Go to dallasvoice.com to read their award-winning journalism. Sign up for their weekly e-newsletter. It comes out on Fridays. It is an absolute delight. And you can read all of the reporting that Tammye Nash, managing editor, does for them. Tammye, thank you for being with us here today. We'll see you back in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. See y'all then.
All
Y'all
right.
take care.
Everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Chicago, if you're listening on WCPTA 20, up next is Choose Views with Richard Chu. Here in Minneapolis, it is the Matt McNeil Show. After that is Native Roots Radio. And then stay tuned at 10 p.m. Central for Ghost Box Radio with Greg Bakken. And until this time tomorrow, keep it queer, America.
Keep it queer.